Yes, hello friends and investors. Welcome back to my channel, Cebu Bohol Homes, and this is Emon Ray. And for today's episode for Home Talk, we'll be checking out the updates of coronavirus in Canada and as well as in South Korea. So let's check first this news in Canada. Canada says new waves of COVID-19 could swamp healthcare system, send death toll soaring. Ottawa, Canada is planning for a reasonable worst-case scenario in which new waves of the coronavirus would intermittently swamp the public health system and send the death toll soaring, officials said on Friday, August 14. Under the scenario, there would be a large peak later this year, followed by a number of smaller peaks and valleys stretching to January 2022. Each peak would exceed the health system's capacity. The system has so far managed to deal with the outbreak, but evidence shows that if it does suffer breakdowns, the mortality goes up really high, Chief Public Health Officer Theresa Tam told a briefing. Tam declined to say what the chances were of the worst-case scenario occurring. Several of Canada's 10 provinces have reported higher numbers of COVID-19 infections as the economy restarts and restrictions on social gathering are relaxed. We are planning for a reasonable worst-case scenario comprised of a large fall peak, followed by ongoing peak and valleys in which resource demands intermittently exceed the health system's capacity to manage, federal health officials said in a modeling forecast. Increases in infection rates are expected as we continue to support economic and social activities, even with appropriate controls in place. Potentially complicating factors include an outbreak of influenza at the same time as a resurgence of coronavirus, officials said. The cumulative death toll in Canada could be as high as 9,115 by August 23, up from the 9,015 at present, the forecast predicted. The Pacific province of British Columbia on Thursday reported a rapid increase in the last few weeks in younger people due to parties and other social events. Ottawa said refugees who work frontline healthcare jobs in Canada during the COVID-19 crisis will be given a one-time pathway to permanent residency. That's from Channel News Asia. And now let's check on this news in South Korea, still on channelnewsasia.com. South Korea tightens curbs in capital to control virus surge. Seoul, South Korea tightened coronavirus measures on Saturday, August 15, in Seoul and surrounding areas as the country reported the highest number of new daily infections in more than 5 months. The stricter social distancing guidelines include restrictions on gatherings and activities including professional sports, which will be played behind closed doors in the capital area again. The move came as South Korea reported 166 new cases on Saturday, the highest daily figure since early March, bringing the country's total infections to 15,039 with 305 deaths. South Korea stands at a critical juncture in the battle to control the coronavirus surge, Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun said at a government response meeting. Our top priority is to contain the spread of the virus in the Greater Seoul area. A majority of the new cases came from the Greater Seoul region, home to half of the country's 51 million people, raising fears about a major spike with a 3-day weekend starting in South Korea from Saturday. The tougher rules come as thousands staged demonstrations in downtown Seoul despite a ban on rallies in the capital city, with some conservative groups protesting against President Moon Jae-in's recent real estate market policy and a series of sex scandals involving leaders of his administration. The protests, with some carrying placards reading "Expel Moon Jae-in," coincided with the National Liberation Day from Japan's 1910 to 1945 colonization of the peninsula. South Korea used invasive tracing and widespread testing to contain its first outbreak of the novel coronavirus, but Asia's fourth largest economy has experienced persistent outbreaks in recent weeks, mostly in the densely populated capital area. The recent spike in infections emerging in multiple clusters, including church gatherings and restaurants. Over 100 infections were linked to members of the Seoul church alone and those who came into contact with the churchgoers. The authorities are testing 4,000 members of the church, Health Minister Park Myung-hoo told a briefing. The authorities decided to upgrade the social distancing guidelines to second stage for Seoul and nearby Gyeonggi province, Prime Minister Chung Si-kyun told a meeting on Saturday. We are facing a desperately dangerous situation that could lead to another wave of epidemics if we cannot overcome this crisis, said Chung. Health authorities had categorized social distancing rules in 3 stages, Stage 1 being the least intense and Stage 3 the toughest, where schools and businesses are urged to close. Second stage limits indoor gatherings to below 50 and outdoor gatherings to below 100, and bans spectators in sports matches, disappointing fans who had just gone back into baseball and soccer stadiums after a 5-week delay to the season. So that's the latest of the COVID-19 updates of these two countries in Canada and South Korea. So till the next video, and if you're not subscribed yet, kindly subscribe to my channel, Cebu Bohol Homes. Once again, this is Amon Ray, and thank you for checking my video for Homes Out. Bye for now.